Hello and welcome to the Intern Corner. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 NBA players based on who would be the best villain in a ski movie. Today we're going to be talking about who would be the best villain in a ski movie. You know, it's a very specific genre, the 80s ski movie, been lampooned to death, and I think that there's a couple characters in the NBA today who could really fit the mold of the bad guy in those movies. So, yeah, let's just hit the slopes and dive right into it. The first person that I think would be a great ski villain is Kelly Ubrae of the Golden State Warriors. The reason Kelly fits this mold is because he's incredibly handsome. He is very beautiful, and he is remarkably good looking. And those are very important traits when you want to be the villain of an 80s ski movie. He also is very confident, which helps. He seems like the kind of guy who could roll up to the slopes and he would do a really hard stop with his skis and shoot a bunch of snow at you. And then he would laugh with his other pals and they would ski off. So I think Kelly Ubrae, very good 80s ski movie villain. Another good 80s ski movie villain is a certain Ricky Rubio, now of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Part of what makes Ricky such an excellent ski movie villain is, of course, he's very handsome and he has beautiful hair. But he's also got so much finesse to him. He's got so much magic and swagger. And I think that would really translate well to being cruel to someone on the slopes. He lives in Minnesota now. He did for a long time. He's used to the snow, and I think that Ricky could really have an advantage against a scrappy underdog who ultimately gets the girls in a ski movie. So third on my list would be Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul, he's a good-looking man. I think for me, more so, it's the absolute cockiness and the big, my dad's a lawyer and you're gonna hear from him energy that I get from Chris Paul. Chris Paul seems like someone who is readily willing to sick authority onto people. We've seen him do this in basketball games, pointing out untucked jerseys to referees and doing all sorts of shenanigans that Chris Paul loves to do to cause little problems that are annoying for people. And that's really good if you want to be the villain in a 80s ski movie. I also think that he would look very fitting in like a turtleneck sweater, like a scarf. I could imagine him really sassily flipping his scarf at me while he goes down the diamond slope. So I think Chris Paul, great ski movie villain. Next, I would go with the Latvian giant Kristaps Borzingas, because I think that he actually has one of the most villainous looks in the NBA. He looks kind of like a very long Frankenstein, and I think that vibe would fit really well as the villain in an 80s ski movie. He would be well suited to villainy. I think that he could find it naturally within him. His vaguely Eastern European energy would fit very well on the slopes. I'm sure he would have a sidekick named Klaus, and they would be really good at causing all sorts of problems for all the other people on the slopes, and they probably win the big race every year, finishing first and second consecutively until a scrappy newcomer comes along and threatens to take the throne from them, even though he's never skied before. And I don't think Kristaps would enjoy that. So I think Kristaps would fit very well as a villain in an 80s ski movie. He also has the look, he's got the perfect gelled hair, all that stuff. So yeah, Kristaps Borzingas, that's the one. He even has a perfect name for it, Kristaps. That guy's doing villainy shit. And for the last person in this list, kind of a deep cut, but it would be Ryan Arcidiacano. All right, that goofy little Italian fuck from the Chicago Bulls. He's known for being a scrappy, hard-working guy, which doesn't totally fit, but if you just take one look at this guy, you're oh yeah, has that vibe of someone who's just things have just kind of worked out for him pretty well. And I think that kind of entitlement might suit itself pretty well to sabotaging an opponent in a downhill race. So yeah, I think Ryan would be a great choice for that. I also think that he's probably the most likely NBA player right now, outside of apparently Damian Lillard, to be the owner of a string of regional Toyota dealerships. Take that for what it's worth, but I think that's pretty true about Ryan Arcidiacano. He would have very low budget commercials for his Arcidiacano Toyota dealerships, probably a couple in like central Illinois and maybe like somewhere in Ohio, just cause it seems like fitting. But yeah, so those are the top 5 NBA players based on their capabilities of being the villain in an 80s ski movie. Not a lot to do with their skills as NBA players, just with their general vibe, which I think is pretty important when you're trying to build a good roster. You don't want any sneaks, saboteurs hidden in your midst. Luckily, for some of them, it's just because they're very handsome men, and not so much sinister. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to Intern Corner again. This has been a really goofy, fun time. Still not getting paid. Might never get paid. But guess what? That's content for you, baby. So yeah, make sure that you throw us a little like, a little subscribe. Helps us out, gets the word out to more people so that we're not just making this stuff and tossing it out into the void. We want to bring you into the void. Be in the void with us. Subscribe to our channel. See ya.